Am I the a-hole for surprising my wife with food she mentioned wanting, but not getting exactly what she expected? My wife has mentioned in the past that she wanted to try the Krabby Patty burger and a pineapple frosty from Wendy's. On my way home from work, I decided to surprise her. I picked up a Krabby Patty burger, a chicken sandwich for myself, and 2 pineapple frosties. I knew she was about an hour away, so I told her I had a surprise waiting for her when she got home. To keep the food fresh, I put her burger in the fridge and the frosty in the freezer. I even ordered the burger without lettuce, thinking I could avoid it getting soggy, and we have lettuce at home that we could add fresh. When she got home, she was excited about the frosty and asked, "Is there a Krabby Patty burger too?" I told her to check the fridge, and that's when things went downhill. She got upset because the burger was cold and I didn't get fries. She said that real justice would have been me waiting for her to come home so we could both get fresh food together, or at least putting my food in the fridge too, so we'd both be eating cold food. She accused me of always expecting grand thanks for doing gestures that aren't as big as I think they are, and said I didn't listen to her, since she wanted the full meal, not just the burger and frosty. She also said she's not going to pretend to be grateful for something that wasn't what she asked for. I was just trying to do something nice, and now I feel like my gesture was totally unappreciated. Am I the a-hole? Update. So, we talked about it, and I explained that I didn't have a problem if she would have said, "I appreciate the gesture, but I would have liked to get it together," or if we would have waited until she was home. I told her I understood why she was upset, and we both agreed that there was a better way to talk about it. She took a bite just now and said, "This is just a Dave's single with fancy sauce, so she doesn't even want it any more hot or cold." Update 2. Alright y'all, thanks for the discussion. I'm the asshole and I'll wear that hat for this one. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister and her family that they have to stay somewhere else even though they lost everything? My sister lost everything. They live in North Carolina in one of the small towns that were hit. I will not say which one for privacy. Luckily, they were not home when it happened. Instead, they were off in Illinois for my wedding. They have been staying with me for around 3 weeks now. Both my sister and I have children. She has a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. I have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old who gets into everything. I have absolutely everything locked. Cabinets, door handles, appliances, outlet covers, you name it. This is 100% needed with my toddler. Since day one of my sister being here, she has been complaining about all of the locks. She thinks they are a pain and will constantly leave everything unlocked just so she doesn't have to deal with it. My toddler and hers have been getting into absolutely everything. It's dangerous for them, it's a mess, and quite frankly, it sucks. I have tried talking to her about it, but now, she's trying to play the guilt game because she lost everything, and we said she could stay here. I get it, it sucks. It's absolutely devastating to have nothing to go home to. She hasn't even fully processed it yet, but this is still my home. Yesterday, I reached my absolute limit with it when my toddler got into my cleaning closet. Luckily, all he got a hold of was the broom. I admit, I yelled at my sister. She started yelling back about losing everything. I yelled it wasn't my fault it happened and told her she needed to find somewhere else to stay. I feel awful now. She's still here while she figures something out, but we haven't said a word to each other since. Am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for following my late sister's wishes and kicking our brother out of her funeral? My sister passed away recently after a long illness, and before she died, she made very clear instructions regarding her funeral. She specifically did not want our brother, John, to attend or receive any of her ashes. To provide some context, growing up, my sister wasn't kind to John. John also was not great. They fought like cats and dogs. As an adult, she sought therapy, recognized the damage she had done, and tried to make amends. She apologized multiple times and reached out, but John refused to reconcile. He was clear that he didn't want a relationship with her. When she became ill, my sister made one last attempt to reconnect, asking John to visit her. He declined again, stating that he had no interest in repairing the relationship, even as she was dying. This hurt her, and she made it clear that if he didn't want to see her while she was alive, she didn't want him at her funeral or receiving any part of her remains. In her view, if he couldn't show up for her in life, he had no right to be there in death. John showed up at the funeral uninvited. I think our uncle gave him the date and time in line with my sister's wishes. I asked him to leave. He became angry, caused a scene, and accused me of being cruel and preventing him from saying goodbye. Several family members have since criticized my decision, saying I should have let him stay for closure. Saying that funeral are for the living, but I pointed out this was her last wish. He thinks I am a huge jerk, and I am refusing to give him anything of hers still. The family is mostly split. So outside opinion. Am I the a-hole?